The forest had always been a place of whispers and shadows, but tonight it felt alive. Marcus tightened the straps on his backpack, glancing at the flickering lanterns that lined the narrow trail. He had been warned about the old Pine Hollow campground, where campers sometimes disappeared without a trace. But he dismissed the stories as local superstition, shrugging off the unease crawling up his spine. The sky was an ink-black canvas dotted with cold stars, and the wind carried the faint scent of damp earth and pine as he reached the clearing where his tent was pitched. He noticed something strange in a set of footprints leading into the dense woods. They were fresh, too fresh, and suddenly his heart thumped with a mixture of curiosity and fear. Marcus called out, his voice breaking. The silence. Hello? Anyone there? But only the rustling leaves answered. He shrugged again, convincing himself it was probably another hiker, but a creeping doubt refused to leave. That night the forest seemed alive with eyes, every shadow shifting, and every snap of a twig sounded like a warning. Sleep evaded him as he stared at the dark shapes beyond his tent, imagining movements that might not even exist. By morning, Marcus felt drained, the chill of the night lingering in his bones. He packed up his gear and decided to follow the mysterious footprints, curiosity gnawing at his caution. The trail led deeper into Pine Hollow than he had ever dared to venture, the trees forming a cathedral of looming trunks. With every step, he felt the forest closing in, the light dimming as if the sun were afraid to enter. Suddenly, he saw a flash of movement, a figure between the trees, pale and gaunt, vanishing. As quickly as it appeared, Marcus froze, calling out again, his voice trembling. Wait. Who's there? But only silence replied. He followed anyway, heart hammering, until he stumbled upon a decrepit campsite. Abandoned yet strangely familiar, a burnt-out campfire sat in the center, surrounded by overturned chairs and scattered supplies. Among the debris was a tattered journal, its pages smeared with dirt and streaks of dried blood. Opening it, he read entries that told a horrifying tale of campers lured into the forest and never seen again. The last entry ended abruptly. They come for you when the moon is high and the forest never forgets. A cold wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing the sunlit warmth and carrying whispers in a language Marcus couldn't understand. He backed away, realizing the footprints had multiplied, crisscrossing around him as though circling. Panic surged as he tried to retrace his steps. But the forest had shifted, paths disappearing into shadows. Every direction looked the same. A maze of towering pines and impenetrable darkness. Then he heard it, a soft, eerie giggle, faint but unmistakable, coming from just beyond the tree line. Marcus called out desperately, "Show yourself!" And the laughter stopped instantly, replaced by silence more terrifying than noise. Suddenly, he saw movement behind him, a blur darting from tree to tree, faster than humanly possible. His stomach dropped as he realized the forest itself was sore, alive, reshaping, closing exits, trapping him. The journal had warned of them, the unseen hunters of Pine Hollow, and now he understood the terror that stalked generations. A whisper brushed his ear, chilling and hollow. You shouldn't have. Come here, and the trees seemed to lean closer. Fear rooted him in place as shadows moved in impossible ways, stretching, twisting, surrounding him. Marcus ran, though he had nowhere to go. The forest stretching endlessly before him. Branches clawed at his clothes. Roots threatened to trip him, and the whispers followed. echoing inside his skull. Then, as he stumbled into a small clearing, he saw a tent that looked exactly like his own, but newer, untouched, sinisterly inviting. A figure stood beside it, motionless, wearing his face yet with eyes empty and black. Frozen, Marcus could only stare as the figure extended a hand, beckoning him. The whispers became voices, chanting, circling, calling him by name, pulling him closer, with a scream he didn't feel. He stepped forward, and the world went black. When rescue teams arrived days later, they found the campsite empty. Marcus's belongings neatly packed, but no sign of him. The footprints leading into the forest had vanished, as if swallowed by the earth itself. Locals say that on quiet nights, you can still hear a lone camper calling out, lost between the trees and Pine Hollow waits, patient for the next wanderer to disappear.